do it. Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, everyone? What's going on, Chip? Good to be back.
Back in the saddle, man.
Back in the saddle again.
Back
XRP.
in the saddle again. I'm back.
I'm back. XRP is crypto ready for mass adoption, mass entry of investors. Is it ready? Chip says no. You might say yes. We're going to talk about that and much more. But if you guys are ready to kick this thing off, because Mike is like, they're perfect, and then falls.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's perfect like this right here. This is how most podcasters do the show. Most podcasters can't figure it out. They're like, hello.
I'm just going to talk like this from now on. Probably good and loud.
Yeah. There it is. There we have it.
But, so we're going to talk about crypto. We're going to talk about, we're going to talk
about flat Earth tonight.
The flat earthers.
Okay, we'll talk about another.
The flat XRPers. How about that?
Guys,
we got some really cool stuff to go into. So let's.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Guys, drop where you're coming in from. Drop that city, drop that country, drop whatever. Drop something in there. We'll talk about it. Jeff, good to have you back. I was carrying the show. It was a lot of talking. I got tired of hearing myself talk. It was kind of weird. It was like I got tired of it. And I had to do all the prep. And it was just a lot. So it's good to have you back, man. 6 shows.
Really well.
6 shows, Jeff.
Count
a lot. That was 5 shows more than I wanted to do solo.
I know one is difficult. The next 5 are even more challenging.
Yeah, it was all right. That was good. We had a great gang. We had a great bunch of nutters in the chat that were like lighting it up, man. The chat's always been phenomenal, and no exception. All the regulars, great people coming in. So, but anyway, how was your time with the in the Himalayas with the Yetis? Everything good?
It was pretty good. I enjoyed the Himalayas. I enjoyed meeting the Yetis. Hung out in the Yeti hut. Very cool.
Very good. In the Yeti hut.
Drank some badass Yetis coffee. What else? Yeah. It was pretty cool.
What else can you hope for? Speaking of, did you say badass Yetis coffee? Well, check this out right here, people.
I did.
Jeremy Hogan, who was on here not too long ago, but Jeremy Hogan, thank you on the chain for the badass Yetis coffee. Noted as being watched over by the amazing Hatton Souvenirs, XRP Video Surveillance Guardian, also a spirit of Justice Ginsburg, just for good measure. And check that out, Jeff. The notorious RBG is sitting right next to our coffee sandwich, right between a collectible of the. How crazy is that?
That's pretty cool. That's a very nice display. You see some really badass Obsidian Bold and some Noir Symphony. 2 very dark roasted coffees from badass Yetis. That's pretty cool.
Looks really good. Yeah.
Jeremy Hogan.
And then I saw this guy, Rube McCoy, says, is it good coffee? Tell me straight. Is it overly flavored? Jeremy's like, I haven't tried it yet, but it smells good. Bada Bing says, wait, I want some badass Yetis coffee. Where can one purchase? Found it. Ordered some Obsidian. That's how you do it, people. Nice.
That's how you get it. So it's good stuff.
Nice. That's the way you do it, Jeff.
That's how you do it. And the Obsidian Bold is nice. So is the Noir Symphony.
Money for nothing and your chicks for free. It's good coffee, man. It really is solid.
Money ain't for nothing and chips for free.
And chicks for free. Chicks for free. That was a song that some 80s song. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, Jeff. Nobody's paying attention. But yeah, so let's talk about this here. I wanted to put this up here. This here, Jeff, look at this. Xumm wallet. This is kind of a cool thing. They've teamed up with GateHub to boost XRPL. GateHub's adding seamless transfers. And I've already seen a lot of people talking about this with on and off ramps on Xumm for 14 assets, including Euro, USD, the British Pound, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more. And of course, XRP as well.
XRP's been on there. What a great idea.
Makes a lot of sense, right?
I like seeing actual asset over there. You know, currency allows for easier adoption, makes it a little bit more mainstream, user friendly, potentially. At least it's moving in that direction. Still think there's a long way to go for mainstream, but yeah, it's good stuff.
Making it easier, which is nice. So suppose you have an asset and you want to take it off, and you just making it a lot easier. Blockchain tech has a lot to offer when it comes to making existing payment flows viable. I can say that again. GateHub and Xumm joining forces remove most of that today's friction by streamlining that on-off ramp process, which is, there is some friction there. I can say that. It kicks off many of the XRP-powered retail and utility-focused endeavors that we envisioned years ago. Partnership will offer these 14 assets. If you can see in there, Flare is also included in that. Songbird is included in that. Even Gala.
Never heard of it.
And do I not see XRP in there?
Nope.
I don't see XRP in there. What?
Because those are the assets that were just added.
Oh, these ones are added. Okay. No,
however, if you scroll down, there's wrapped XRP. WXRP.
Cincinnati. Oh, that was KRP. Okay. Sorry. WKRP in Cincinnati, man. Taking me back to these old shows, man. Let's see, Dash. Interesting. I didn't know Dash was still a thing, Jeff, to be honest with you. I was thinking, I guess it is still a thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize Dash or Gala or Songbird or Flare. I didn't even know any of those were still a thing.
Mark Smith, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please get on your feet, get ready to meet and greet the man, the myth, the crypto legend. Please welcome back Jeff.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
I heard a guy.
What's that? It was
Look
good.
at that right there. See, I just let it say.
Oh wait, no, not that one. We don't have a cheering crowd. We just have a booing crowd and angry crowd.
We don't have that in there, no. Jim D says the Yeti secret sauce for tracking their prey is badass Yeti coffee. Yellow snow, little stinkers are clever. There you go. That's about as good as we're gonna get. That's not bad.
That's a good one. Hey.
There you go. Yahoo. So there you go. So this is worldwide, while Europeans can still take advantage of the instant card top up method. So
okay,
you can also buy it on some wallet as well. But this is what we're talking about, Jeff. When you bring up the whole mass adoption, is what it's going to take. It's going to make simple stuff. And honestly, so we just did this giveaway recently, where we gave away an unchained elephant.
We did do that.
Honestly, it's not that easy to understand that you got to go. You got to jump through some hoops in the beginning. Then when you finally made it to your wallet, then you had to click on this, you had to click on that, you had to click on accept, and it's like it's buried in the Xumm app. You can't find it. It's not like it shows up as an alert on your screen like you have a Yeti, you have an NFT.
Right. It doesn't happen exactly like that. But you know what? The more you get used to working with it, and it is definitely different. You know, it's definitely different.
Well, as one of the
you're going mainstream, you know, just a mainstream banking app or something like that.
Well, so what somebody said, he had said like, hey, look, he's like, sorry, Chip, I guess I didn't claim it in time. I didn't know how to do it. He goes, I'm not a techie kind of guy. I'm like, dude, if you're in crypto, you are a techie kind of person, because you had to be technically savvy enough to figure out. And if you have a cold storage wallet, you've got to be somewhat technically savvy, because it doesn't make any sense.
You got to start somewhere. But, it's interesting because when there's a will, there's a way. And if you can, overcome the digital, especially in the early days, all the different hurdles that you had to jump through, all the
ridiculous
hoops that you had to jump through to get an asset, you had to at least have some savviness on a website or an app. And there's a lot that goes into it. And then you had to be willing to take the risk. Then if you're even earlier adopter trying to get Bitcoin back in the early days, there are definitely a lot of hurdles. Things are a little bit easier today. And the Xumm is trying to make it easier.
Earlier. I remember back in the day, I used to use the Circle app, back when the Circle app was functional.
Yes. But
Back
you
in
know
the
what's
day,
interesting? So if you go on to Xumm, and then you just click on the little thing in the upper left-hand corner that says tokens, and you go from tokens to NFTs, there's your NFTs. And you don't have to do much searching. Just a little drop down.
But to grab it, it's not easy. It's the whole, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, trying to get it and having it sent to you and then trying to figure that out. And there's a lot going on here in this thing here. Then if you had multiple accounts, trying to figure out where you put it. But Songbird and Flare and all those have already been on the Xumm app for a while. So it's not like they recently added those. Then there's a whole bunch of little randoms on there.
No, it's the off-ramp. It's the off-ramp capability.
Oh, right. The off-ramp capability. That makes sense.
Alchemist said Chip paid the ransomware to release Jeff. Jeff on his way back, says Ralph Cooper there. There you go. There you go.
They were holding me hostage over in
the badass
London.
Yetis, the Yetis. And then Tranglo, who is I believe Ripple owns a piece of that action. Ripple's XRP now supported by crypto payment giant BitPay. About 30 merchants right now accept XRP direct payments, including big names such as AMC Theaters and Newegg. So I know both of them have been, well, I've never been to Newegg because it's online, but I have seen many movies at AMC Theaters, which is pretty cool. The Newegg is great for if you're a techie kind of a person.
What is Newegg is a website where you can buy stuff.
Yeah, Newegg you buy like hardware and all that stuff. They always have like really good discounts, which is awesome. But again, you just see like there's always news going on. There's always somebody there's something happening. So 30 merchants accepting XRP direct pay. This right here, Jeff, I mean, this plays right into the opening statement about how we're going to get the mass adoption, and how we're going to get there is when the verbiage of on and off ramps goes away. That's how we know we've hit mass adoption, because if you want to go to the theater, you're using your XRP to pay, right? If you have an exchange with XRP tied to it and you use a card, then you're using your XRPs. The idea is not to have the off ramp. The idea is to be able to purchase or have that store of value locked up somewhere. And the first person who's able to tie your card to a key, maybe a cold storage wallet or some part of a storage wallet where you control the keys to, so it's not sitting on an exchange somewhere where it's a little bit more of an intermediary, that also will be good. So you could just see it's like 30 merchants. I couldn't find who the 30 merchants were. I just heard that that there were 30 merchants. So I'm not sure who the other ones are. I don't know if I'm gonna go to their
30 merchants that are using BitPay, or what's the deal?
No, by using BitPay, you can use like XRP to pay for something. So another crypto.
Right.
So
yeah, so I'm looking. So on BitPay, I mean, you can. Obviously there's a lot that you can do with it, and it's an easy one too, because it just, you can pay. Let's say you were buying something for me, you'd pay in your Bitcoin, and I would get US dollars.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole thing. So here it is, right here, Jeff. I did find it. A little sleuthing. Was this the kind of stuff that was hard when you weren't here? I was like trying to carry it through the show, and here. Clicked it twice. Here we go. Spend XRP at these 30 businesses that accept XRP payment. You're like, okay, great. Who is this exactly? So here we are, 30 merchants that accept XRP. Average transaction cost a fraction of a penny. Now, how cool is this? You go in there and you buy something that costs $1,000 and it's a fraction of a penny versus 3%, which you usually get dinged for. A merchant gets dinged for it. The very first one out of that's a German company, German-based precious metals dealer that buys and sells gold, silver, platinum, and more.
Nice.
We talked about AMC Theaters. Talked about that.
So wait a minute. So AMC Theaters. So in theory, we can go on to AMC Theater right now, and we can buy a ticket online and pay with XRP.
Yeah, if you're using BitPay, yeah.
If you're using BitPay, but let's see if it's marketed right on AMC.
Is that Mark Gaybauer? How do you pronounce that? Gaybauer?
He said,
GmbH. I still don't know what that GmbH is. I just know it's German. So this is a luxury watches, brands like
Nice.
Rolex, Patrick Patek Philippe, and more, based in Dusseldorf.
mm-hmm.
A Joma shop. Indulge in luxury without the price tag. A Joma shop, exclusive collection of designer watches, handbags. Seems like this watches is a theme here, Jeff.
Watch is a big deal.
I wonder if Hans Logan
Luxury
knows these
commodities.
guys. Prepaid Gamer Online, top South African-based online merchant offering prepaid game codes, gift cards, and addresses to Nigerian princesses. They're trying to shake down for money. I don't know. I made that last part up. That's not true. I'll deliver 24/7. Of course, Newegg, Power Tech, HawkHost, web hosting company, a wide range of options. Everybody's dying to pay for their web hosting, their XRP. They also have VPS hosting. Ace Jewelers, elevate with Ace Jewelers. American Cancer Society, you can make donations. Join the fight.
Wow. Registering for AMC is worse than anything. It's amazing the amount of information they want just to register. You can't sign in with Google.
Now, what is this, Jeff? Let me see if I get this right. Join the fight against cancer with the American Cancer Society. Together, people can make a difference through information, support, and action. Easily buy, send, and redeem digital gift cards around the clock using XRP from anywhere in South Africa. What am I missing here? So you can join the fight against cancer with the American Cancer Society.
Only in South Africa.
And you can do all this stuff from only in South Africa. I think that's a typo. I don't know. It seems a little weird.
Yeah, there you go.
APMEX, which is APMEX, which is buys precious metals again. Sharps Pixley, London's top bullion dealers. Crypto Turismo, Games Planet, PlayAsia.com, Hublot, Luxury Watch.
Nice, more watches.
Namecheap, I know Namecheap very well. Domain registrations, bought many domains there.
Ledger,
you can always been able to buy. Garagoch, HostKey, Dutch purveyor of computer services. PacSun, dude, man, I know that. Bought many things in PacSun, mostly for my kids, but I bought some shoes and
what else?
T-shirts in there. Those are the most notable ones. Scan Computer, Stack Bauer, Steven Silver, Fine Jewelers, Crypto Hopper, Wrist Aficionado, Air Baltic, Takeaway.com, Biliani. There you go. See all of what you can do.
So Michael Murphy was saying that 10 companies are accepting SHIB with BitPay.
Oh, there you go. That's like 11. That's 9 more than except XRP. So there you go. Where you can spend, how do you pay with crypto? So this is how you do it right here. And there it is right there. Yeah, Ethereum, Doge, spend direct, thousands of merchants, get a BitPay card.
Like it.
Spend like cash, gift cards, bill pay, BitPay wallet, BitPay extension.
But for a long time, the BitPay has been used by politicians to raise money, and some of those, the big deal was it's like, oh, we're accepting crypto. Or some of the you could pay taxes. I forget what state it was. It might have been Ohio, and there were a couple other states that were allowing people to pay their taxes with BitPay, with crypto.
Interesting, very interesting.
And that was pre Gary Gensler.
So, yeah, everything will be judged. It will be like pre-lawsuit, after lawsuit, right? Pre and after. So after lawsuit, everything's good because the only digital asset that has absolutely 100% clarity, XRP. And here's the other thing: we have, for some reason, Bloomberg Crypto. I did one the other night where they got everything wrong. And everybody and their brother, especially John Deaton, was chiming in saying that the information is incorrect. That no, they are not. Saying the SEC was appealing the ruling about XRP, completely false. But now they're doubling down on stupid, Jeff, because now we're going to watch this video, and you can just see how you can double down on stupid. But let's watch this.
Well, thanks to Gary.
SEC, remember that back in July, District Judge Annalisa Torres had ruled that the XRP token of Ripple Labs is not a security when it's sold to the general public, and the ruling was a preliminary motion and not a judgment. So the SEC is now seeking permission for its immediate appeal, saying that the ultimate answer to
Get the buzzer ready, Jeff. Do you have the buzzer ready? That is incorrect. That is wrong. This is Bloomberg crypto. Okay? Yeah, tell me when you have that buzzer ready. So we get ready to buzz in here. Get the buzzer ready? Oh, maybe we don't have a buzzer. I thought we did. Boom! Desert Fox wants to know who's the new guy. All right, here we go. You ready with the buzzer?
Holy shit. Like, let's not do that. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, well, here's Bloomberg for you.
So the SEC is now seeking permission for its immediate appeal, saying that the ultimate answer to these questions could affect a number of pending cases involving crypto assets. In the latest twist between the two industries here, you do have a very significant amount of pushback here between the two parties.
Jeff, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a gig on TV where I'm just going to stand up, talk to a screen, and just talk a bunch of nonsense. So here's what we have. We have pushback. We have all kinds of things. The SEC is appealing the ruling. They're absolutely pushing back. No, wrong.
Now, we do have this appeal from the SEC. We also have the fact here that
the best part about this is it's not even an appeal. It's a motion. It's asking the court to make a motion to appeal, but it's not appealing that bit of it. And it's the whole idea of Chris and Brad being reckless. How are they reckless with selling XRP if XRP is not a security? Yay! And they didn't know it. Dumb. Very dumb.
Yay. The early response of the XRP token has been a huge rebound, but those gains have since waned since then, and it's becoming clear that ruling may not have been the industry clarity that has been needed to move forward. Now, remember, as you were just talking about, there's a separate case between the SEC and Terraform Labs, where a separate judge, Judge Rakoff, said the Terra USD might be a security when it's sold to retail investors, and that is just one of many suits between the SEC and the different industry giants, including the largest crypto exchange, Coinbase, which is fighting the SEC on its current stance while also working closely with the watchdog on separate matters in the crypto world, including the advancements of ETFs tied to Bitcoin. Now, for its own right, Ripple is fighting the SEC's appeal. The company's executives, in their own legal response with the judge, say the next step should be a trial, which they say should happen expeditiously and is in the interest of the public. Yet they.
On one.
I don't know what. And there you go. That's about the size of it right there. Yay! That was dreadful to listen to. Was it not?
It's brutal. Very, very detrimental overall when you see the media, the way the media portrays things and people get things wrong. Happens too frequently, I have to say.
It does, yeah. I mean, so here it is right here. If you guys didn't believe me, here was the video we just played. Bloomberg Crypto, and Jeff, they actually have @crypto. Okay, got to pull some arms, some maneuvering there to get @crypto on the X platform. And so this is Sonali Basak is the reporter here. This is her right here, and she is the global finance correspondent for Bloomberg TV and crypto, writing like mad for @business. At NYU Stern, MBA, views are my own. I'm wondering if the views are their own on Bloomberg Crypto. So what do we hear from? None other than John Deaton. He said, Sonali, if you truly care about reporting accurately, I'm willing to come on and explain to your viewers exactly what is being requested by the SEC, Ripple's response, and if granted, exactly what will be appealed and not appealed. Thank you, and good night. So that was saying it pretty nicely, Jeff, to be honest. I was like, that was very, very nice. Like, hey, I'm going to come on, set the record straight. Didn't make her wrong. Didn't say, hey, you screwed it up royally. You're thinking about. He just said, I'll tell you exactly what's being requested by the SEC, what Ripple's response is, and if it is granted, exactly what will be appealed and what not appealed.
Yeah, you know, it's getting a little
True,
old.
Jackie. True story. True story.
A little old. But you know who has all the accurate news? So there's been some interesting stuff going on in
Is there accurate news
Congress.
anywhere, Jeff?
There is not, but
Okay,
at
let's
least
make
at
some
least
news up.
we at
Make
least here
some
we
stuff
try to
up.
portray it as evenly as possible. But this is interesting. Ron Hammond, who was one of the primary architects of the Token Taxonomy Act when he worked for Congressman Warren Davidson. That's how he gained notoriety. Then he went on and worked at Ripple. Then he went on and worked for what's his latest blockchain association. He's a director of government relations over there. A lot of stuff going on, but so he has an interesting take on what's happening with Congress. So there's another 2 weeks until they come back to DC. Obviously, there's a tremendous amount of things that need to happen. Here you had Rep. Mike Flood was actually hosting a fintech flyover with experts and policymakers. And so the big thing is
What we learned is Chuck. It says
what have they learned?
So that's what I want. I'm dying to find out. Cannot wait. I just cannot wait to see what they learned here.
This is what they've learned. You know, a lot of stuff here. You know what?
Stuff to read.
You know what we've learned is that it's not bipartisan. Well, I guess there is some bipartisan support for a true crypto legislation, but it isn't 100% there yet. Here you had the first ever fintech flyover was in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's really great. Here's all these different experts. You may or may not recognize their names. The last panel was Rep. Hill and Rep. Davidson, the lead deputies for Patrick McHenry. You know, seeing a theme here? Crypto legislative efforts. Yeah. Biggest takeaway, stablecoin legislation is still fluid and subject to change, and market structure bill will also be tweaked before a vote. I never like hearing the word fluid. That it's fluid.
I don't like tweets before a vote. Tweet before a vote spells doom and gloom. Like whoever, let's see. So tweaked before a vote. I'm sorry, before a bill. But if a bill is tweaked before a vote, I don't know. It usually means they put some pork in there or something bad happened. They took good stuff out.
How many amendments? Yeah. How much? What can they do to it? There are various other crypto bills that the Financial Committee passed at the end of July, which was first time in many years that the Financial Committee's actually done anything. But all eyes are on the stablecoin bill, which passed with all the R's and 5 D's. The FIT Act, we talked about that, the Financial Innovation Technology Act, something like that. Market structure bill, which passed with all R's, 6 D's, and all of agriculture's R's and D's. That's interesting. The entire Agricultural Committee passed it. The Financial Services Committee, not so much. Here you have all signs point to a fall vote for both those bills. This will be the first time the full House will vote on crypto legislation. First time in history. September probably isn't likely as Congress has a full slate of work, including funding the government, blah, blah, blah. Farm bill.
25, Jeff, is what they were talking about, really.
Reauthorization. But fall. So fall could be October, could be November, could be December. We don't know. That leaves October and November for a vote for both of those bills. The time between now and then will be littered with education. Like he's got tweaked, littered, and fluid. I mean,
fluid. Like lighter fluid? Is that what we're talking about here? What kind of fluid are we talking about here?
Very fluid.
Holy.
Very fluidy.
My God. It's very fluid, Jeff.
Most educational efforts have been lost on focused on members of Congress who sit on the Financial Services and Agriculture Committee. Even that was a long process. 300 plus members will need to get brought up to speed fast or will defer to their party's leadership. That's scary because depending on which party now we already see all the R's are voting. Here we have Maxine Waters. Recall the stablecoin and FIT Act didn't get support of the lead D, Maxine Waters, even though several of her members broke ranks to support the bill. It largely was from members who spent time learning the issue. That's interesting. Those who didn't learn the issue decided to vote against it without any. They all
learned about it. Yeah, okay.
All 3 of them learned about it.
3 people learned about it.
The dynamic will be harder to replicate for those who don't follow this issue closely. Those groups, individuals who oppose the two bills are equally hard at work getting their message out that these bills are unneeded and the rules are clear, like Gary Gensler says. Can you imagine there's members of Congress running around saying the rules are clear and they're not?
Clear. I'm tired of that statement. The rules are clear. Come in and register. I hate that.
It's so murky.
Take a daddy G on that.
They're so duplicitous. For either of these bills, Chip, to get traction in a D-led Senate, the R-led House needs to deliver a strong number of Ds and Rs to support. Ds are the flank to watch, but don't forget, the more right-leaning Rs, CBDCs are toxic in that group, and some confuse stablecoins as CBDCs. So how about the Blockchain Association, which is supposed to be an educational government
doing a
outreach.
Good job of educating the government and the Congress.
We got to make sure they're not confused over stablecoins, or they're still confused. They still think X is Twitter and Facebook, Meta is Facebook, or who knows who Meta is. They don't know who Mark Zuckerberg is, and they're still Yahooing. So
what is this face you have? That was so embarrassing, those hearings. My God, it's a simple post garbage. You get a garbage post up there, and they're like, "Tell me about this book of a face."
Yeah,
horrific. So embarrassing.
So here we've got all sorts of cool things. Oh, AI is a big issue. Gary Gensler is going after AI, so that's a big one. Don't know why he's the one responsible for going after AI, but he was responsible for going after crypto.
Jeff, good luck reigning in AI. Congress and AI, that's unbelievable. By the way, Jeff, do you know who's overlooking and overseeing all of AI in Washington?
Gary Gensler.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala. Come on up.
She's the one. She's the guardian of AI.
Come on now.
Don't worry about it, okay? Everything's fine.
Don't worry about it. Everything's perfect. AI is going to flourish under her watch.
She's also the border czar. She's the AI czar. And if you want to see two things that aren't going to get any attention, you can look at those two things right there.
So here you have to what end? Ron Hammond wants to give a personal plug to his recent trip to Buenos Aires and seeing how much more crypto was integrated into the mainstream culture than in the U.S. And that's, it's pathetic. Our viewership tonight is super, super low because we were talking about mass entry into the crypto space.
40 people, Jeff, you came back. I was attracting crowds of 300 and 400. We had like 2,000 people in here in one show, and I was like, "Now you come back, and we're at 40."
I don't know what happened. We haven't seen 40 since like 3 years ago. So I don't know what the 40 number is all about. Thank you, YouTube, for the bloodbath.
I know there's a couple spaces going on that could be part of it.
Boo to spaces. So here, what else do we got here? Who did he meet with? He was doing a lot of stuff in Buenos Aires, seeing all this stuff here. He wanted to buy a whole Bitcoin because of the hit song. And the interest in crypto there was largely focused on constant inflation in our culture. It was fascinating to learn how issues that take up most of the conversation in DC, like FTX, don't come up. Some may not trust crypto, but in Argentina, more trusted it than the status quo. And, it comes down to it. Like, people don't know anything about Ripple. They didn't know anything about the SEC lawsuit against Ripple. Nobody knows anything about FTX. We're so, egocentric in the US that we think the whole world is focused around, and FTX is the and whatever's happening with SBF and all that is kind of the end all be all. Unless you're in the Bahamas, then you know all about it. But there you have it. And it is true, the status quo in all these other countries much, much worse than the fluctuations in crypto.
Yeah, 42 people. Thank you and good night. My gosh, what is going on? So here, Coinbase tweeted this out. Coinbase and Circle announced a few updates to USDC. Stablecoins will be a key component of a new updated financial system, which will continue to confuse most in Congress. And we look forward to that. I made that part up. We'll look forward to helping unlock additional utilities. Interesting, the word of use of utility, and growing the USD ecosystem. Here's a thread. When I see that, do I need to see like this stupid emoji of a thread, Jeff? Every once in a while, I'll put an emoji in there. I put the laughing emojis, but the arrows and the pointing and stuff, I guess I do it sometimes, but man, do I just think it's stupid. Emojis are dumb. Expanding networks, USDC will be launching on 6 new blockchains for native support. Coinbase is taking an equity stake. That's interesting in Circle to continue our alignment and investment in the long-term success of stablecoins and specifically USDC. So you know that just on this news alone, the SEC can't be happy. They're like, what do you mean you're taking an equity stake in Circle? That's an unregistered security and it's a stable coin. We don't know what's going on with stable coins. But I find that, what do you think about this, though? The fact that Coinbase has taken an equity stake in Circle?
I think that Coinbase is also looking for full mainstream adoption. They're starting to see what type of benefit there's going to be in stable coins. You're starting to see more and more push towards a digital currency of some sort, whether it's going to be a CBDC or a digital fiat or whatever it is. But stable coins still have a lot of relevance in the space. First mover advantage, and so them acquiring a position in Circle, I think, has a lot of meaning. I think it shows also where Coinbase wants to go. I think we've heard a lot from Elon Musk in terms of what his plans are with X also being in the payment space. I think the payment space is about to heat up. I think Meta is out. I think Facebook dropped the ball on that one. I see PayPal is entering the space. PayPal, Coinbase, X. We're going to see other players entering very rapidly. They were sitting on the sidelines, and now now we're going to see the race heat up in different categories, and it's all going to be positioned towards Main Street adoption. So while we see all the cool things that Xumm is doing, which is very relevant, there's big entities out there that are positioning themselves, and I would say that Xumm positioning themselves for a potential buyout because of their technology to a bigger entity, maybe a PayPal or a Coinbase or somewhere in that vein. That's what I see. What do you think?
No, I think that if you're, I mean, they have a investment arm of the organization is like, you don't want to be a one-trick pony. You saw what happened with the SEC. You got to be able to branch out and invest in other technologies. And from all looks of it, Jeremy Allaire has done a great job with Circle, from what I can tell, and what he's done growing that company and USDC itself. So I think that it makes a lot of sense. And again, everyone's going to pile on, but you want to diversify. You don't want everything in one basket. They've also invested in a lot of blockchain companies, and I think it's good. And I think Coinbase jumping into taking an equity stake in Circle is good for the industry as well. And there was some volatility there recently with Circle, so more so USDC. They streamline operations and governance, with Circle having full responsibility and accountability for USDC as the issuer. And so for Coinbase customers, no changes on USDC on Coinbase, and Coinbase will continue to support USDC across all of their platforms with all the same benefits you enjoy today, including free Taco Tuesday. No, that's not there. Including gas-free transfers and rewards. Imagine you got to say gas-free. It's like, if you're doing Taco Tuesday, there's not going to be gas-free, okay? I'm just saying. But taco gas-free, you have to publicize that it's going to be gas-free. That would be your pal Ethereum there. We do not anticipate these updates to impact our financial outlook previously provided in our Q2 shareholder letter released on August 3rd. Interesting to note that, because they're probably all worried the shareholders are going to go nuts, right? They're like, oh my God, what do you mean you're investing in this stable coin? What in God's name is a stable coin? So anyway, you can read all about it here in the next chapter for USD digital asset management with multi-party computation, MPC white paper, blah, 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 blah. So this guy says, Minority Note says, just let you know, Circle is now compromised with Tether and others.
Interesting.
Daniel says most stables are a bit shady. I don't know that some of them are, but the funny part about that too, we've been hearing an awful lot about BRICS. BRICS is the next financial system. BRICS is going to take over the world, Jeff. BRICS is everything. I'm like, well, one of the things that is, all these stable coins are backed by the USD. And are we going to watch them get backed by the yuan? I don't think so. Do you see that happening, Jeff?
No, I think, overall, the biggest concern, you have a lot of countries that they're kind of in, dollar hegemonic power burnout. And so they're looking for other solutions. Maybe they're upset, angry, whatever. They're looking for something. BRICS looks like it's providing some sort of an alternative to the US dollar as a reserve currency. But to what end? Because there is no currency right now to replace it. No one's going to rely on a digital yuan. They're not going to go to the Russian ruble. They're not going to go to the Indian rupee. They're not going to go to the South African, whatever they use. They're not going to go to the Brazilian real. What are they going to use? And then BRICS is going to create some sort of a stable asset. What are they pinning the stable coin to? Are they going to pin it to a basket of these 5 currencies that nobody wants to use and rely on? What currency are they, are they actually going to roll out? So do they then pin or peg this new BRICS currency to gold? Are they going to pin it to oil? Are they going to pin it to their natural reserves? Then do you trust them? Do you trust that it's going to be accurate? South African rands. There we go. I knew Hans would help us out on that one. And I knew it started with an R. I couldn't
They're
write.
called Rands Pauls. Rands Pauls. Rands Pauls. Rand Paul is a senator.
But yeah, but to that point, but that's where Coinbase, Circle, the CBDCs are going to take a long time to roll out. What's interesting though, going over to the UK, a number of years ago, I can remember being in anywhere in Europe, and it was difficult to use credit cards. And credit cards have been gaining rapid momentum. At this point, being in the UK, it seemed like most people, most locations didn't even want to accept cash. And I noticed the same thing over in France. Like everybody wanted credit cards. Go get a bottle of water, use a credit card. No cash, no coins. And it was just, and they're rapidly moving in a direction to put people into this comfort zone of using digital currency. In the US, we've obviously used credit cards a long time. A lot of people don't use cash, but it's kind of like it's not the same expectation. It just seemed like there was more going on, and people are still expecting signatures on paper over there too, which is kind of strange. Like here, you go to the credit card machine, you swipe your card, and it says sign on the thing, and they just hit the button. They're like, yeah, forget about it. Because your signature, what are you going to do? I just draw a line on it.
I draw a giant X. They're like, is that your signature? I'm like, it is today. It might be a squiggle tomorrow.
And who's auditing? That's what.
Who's the official signature checker? Let's see. Hang on a second, Chip. This is not your signature. You've signed with a squiggle before. This is an X. I can tell that doesn't match. So stupid, Jeff.
It's hilarious. Hilarity at its best.
So dumb. Jeff, I saw a brand new news source today that I had never seen before. Well, I don't even know if it's a news source. I don't know anything about it, but it was like, I think it was a promoted, like a promoted, what do you call it? An X? I mean, we used to call them tweets. What the hell do you call it? I don't even know what to call it anymore.
I don't know. Yeah, you can't call it a tweet. I call it an X.
I think you call it a post because now it's like instead of retweet, it's repost if you're on X platform. So
interesting. So it's just a post.
Soon this is what I saw. Look at this here, Jeff. This is it right here. The Federal Newswire, at Federal Newswire, it says, after the DOJ decided not to pursue a campaign finance charge against former crypto mogul Sam Bankman-Fried, a Crypto.com analyst raised concerns about double standards and federal agencies' approach to policing the crypto industry. That never happens, Jeff. That can't be accurate. There's no way there's a double standard.
There's no double standard. It's only one standard.
They find cocaine in the White House, and they're like, geez, we don't know. We have no idea who it belongs to. There's more cameras and listening devices out of any place in the entire world in the White House. And I'm like, I don't know. And meanwhile, they couldn't lift it was in a bag and they couldn't get the fingerprints off it, Jeff. And they're like, we don't know. Nobody knows. Well, the cameras didn't work that day. Okay. Welcome back, Jeff. We missed you. Hit the like before you check out. Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Look at Sophie. She's got a gig here, Jeff. She's all over it. Everything's said in that one message right there.
Good, because then we don't have to say anything. And then Catherine is late because Catherine is working from home. Now, if you're working from home,
you always work late. I know. I work from home.
Then you work late, and then you're like, I want to turn the podcast on.
You work
but
on weekends. You're like, let me just one email. It's like, okay, let me just do this one thing.
It's this one little email that takes me forever to write.
I never heard about this publication before. Hard to notice.
Is it called Fantasyland?
Maybe it's called the Federal Newswire.
Oh, right.
I've never seen it before. It says hard not to notice the different enforcement priorities when it comes to cryptocurrency exchanges. While exchanges like Binance and Coinbase face regulatory action, FTX seems to have dodged similar consequences despite the serious allegations against its founder.
Interesting.
This inconsistency makes us wonder if all crypto exchanges are held to the same standards. Bankman-Fried facing a charge of violating. So the latest one is he's in jail, Jeff, and he's upset because he's running out of his Adderall. And they're going to stop serving him vegan meals. And you know what happens when you do that? Nothing. So it's just like, it's like he wants Adderall so he can be all juiced out. And then he wants to have vegan meals. And I think they're not going to give him vegan meals. And it's like, dude, you're in prison, man. It's like, when did people in prison start making these demands? Like, no, Jeff, I'm sorry, man. I like vegan food, which is great, but it has to be non-GMO. Oh, and it has to be from a certain region. Oh, and there's certain regions. I mean, you're in prison. You're lucky you get fed. You get 3 squares a day. That's it. And he's bitching like a little whiny little baby. It's like if you hadn't gone out and done so many stupid things, maybe you'd have a chance. But you're in jail. By the way, Jeff, you know what jail he's in? Remember that Epstein guy?
Oh, yeah.
The one that supposedly killed himself? Well, that's where he is, I believe.
They're setting him up. So here's one from Austin Foe.
Oh.
Do you guys believe that crypto will be up late next year with a presidential election or down massively? Up massively or down massively? Presidential election.
Given the way things are going, I tend to think that 2024 is going to actually be a decent year for crypto. Now, the word let's remove the word massively, okay? Because massively is down is 0.006, which everyone's buying like crazy, like it's going out of style. Massively, to me, like on the upswing, is maybe all-time high. $4. Just say $4. I'm like, at this point, Jeff, everyone's like $15 to $30, $30 to $175, $175 to $16,389. Just let's hit $1. Just give me $1. Let's not be crazy. Should be give me $1, Jeff. I'll take that.
So what I predict, presidential election will create, depending on outcome is what we're expecting. I predict that the entire market's going to rally, not just the crypto market, but all markets across the board are going to go parabolic. That's my prediction. Yeah, only because of the right outcome. Get rid of the current resident, put in a proper president, and the whole globe is going to be put on notice. Things are going to be righted. All the wrongs are going to melt away. Things are going to go back to the way they were meant to be, and the economics are going to react, and they're going to respond to such an extent that I don't think we've ever seen anything like that coming from, a lot of lows.
Yeah, and then let's get rid of the Federal Reserve, Jeff. That'd be the first thing. Everyone's talking about CBDCs. I'm like, get rid of all central banks. We don't need them. Let's go back to sovereign currencies. You want to have something on the blockchain, but get rid of this middleman. It's enslavement. It's encampment. We don't need it. It's garbage. Lose it. And I think that's going away. I'll make that prediction. The first they'll start with an audit, and then it's going bye-bye. You want to know why, Jeff? I believe that because I believe the next president will be walking in Andrew Jackson's shoes. You know, the first election was stolen from Andrew Jackson. He's kind of pissed off. Went out and rallied, got the people's support, came in like a banshee being shot out of a cannon. One of the first things he did, got rid of our second central bank and said, sorry, 20-year charter, it's gone. You're done. It's over with. See you later, stupids.
Boom.
That's what he said. See you later, stupids.
Boom.
Yeah. Tucker is going to be interviewing Orange Man Bad tonight. So,
and thank you, Austin. Thank you for the great question. Thank you for the support.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate that. Austin,
appreciate that.
That's a cool name. That's almost like a cross between a Bond villain and like a hero. It's like Austin Foe. Gotta like that.
And in reference, I was referring to the regular markets, regular stock markets.
Correct.
And then as a direct impact to that, I also then would see that the crypto markets are going to respond in kind. Let there be a rally. If there's uncertainty with the financial infrastructure, maybe that'll push people into crypto, but a positive market, I believe, is going to be positive across the board. People are going to be excited. FOMO brings FOMO. That's what I say.
Look at this.
So let's report back here the day as the election finishes. We'll go a week out from the election, and then we'll see where the markets are going. It'll be very interesting.
James Filan posted this. XRP counsel for Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson have informed Judge Torres the dates they will not be available for trial in the second quarter of 2024, which probably means this is going to start like next April, May, or June of next year. Wait, January, February, March, that's first quarter. April, May, June. So yeah, there you go. April Fools. No, somebody wrote April Fools. So there you go. That's it, man. That's all we got for tonight, Jeff.
Whoever Michael Murphy's saying, the candidate that says he will fire Gary Gensler gets my vote. How about?
Well, if you're paying attention, the candidate that gets in, it isn't this degenerate. I mean, Jeff, the massive tragedy in Hawaii, and you're making jokes about the ground being hot. You're hearing people's stories about their whole life being destroyed, family, friends gone, incinerated forever, and you're sleeping. I'm sorry, man. And you got everybody just silent like it's normal. No, it should be laughed out of office. This is absolutely pathetic, ridiculous, man. It's a shame to see, man. It's embarrassing.
Well, he said that he had empathy because his house almost burned down.
First of all, there was a small fire in his kitchen.
Oh yeah, he was fact checked very quick on that, and it was a fire that had.
And he almost lost his Corvette. Who gives a rat's behind? Something almost happened to his cat. His cat was upstairs. It was a small, tiny fire.
It's not even the same thing. So let's say his house did burn down. Still not the same thing because here communities burn down. It's not like one house; it's the entire community. It's everything.
Aaron's in the house. Aaron's in the house.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Burning down.
Down the house.
We weren't just talking about Hawaii, but it's horrible. It was a horrible, tragedy that happened over there, and you would expect a little bit of empathy from the man in charge.
No, the resident, Jeff.
The resident in waiting.
The resident. I think that's all we had. There's nothing more. Let's get out of here. We got to go watch this interview.
So Mark is saying he had to get on a call. Can we please start from the beginning?
Now you tell us.
We would have paused.
Well, guys, we will be back on Saturday morning early. It's good to have you back, Jeff. I like to just sit and listen to you talk as well, and I was just enjoying myself tonight. It was awesome.
It's very cool.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not traumatic. I mean, the resident did have some pain early days. He did lose a wife and a child. That's nothing to joke about in an accident. So that's horrific.
Rye guy. All right, Hans is off to watch Tucker Trump debate. It's a debate or just an interview, right?
And it starts 5 minutes before the vice presidential debates. Who's gonna try to battle for the vice president position?
Oh my God! What do you think about what's Vivek's last name? Something Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
Vivek is vice president. What do you think?
No. Too many. I don't want to get into the things there, but there's too many things he's done and said that don't jive. And you can
Pence is vice president.
No. That dude. No, you know who I like? Byron Daniels for vice president.
Oh man, yeah, Donald.
I thought he was to be on like.
He's gonna. Yeah, I got to reach out and find out if.
Byron Donald. I think Byron Donald's making an outstanding vice
He'd
president.
Be phenomenal.
Also, Carrie like Carrie Lake a lot too.
Carrie Lake would be solid as a vice president. Either one of them.
It's going to be the person that's going to be able to take the presidency next time for the next 8 years and lock them out.
I would go with either one of them.
Either one would be a solid choice.
I like both of them.
I do too. I think Byron Donalds would be great. And Byron Donalds, if you guys remember, famously is the one that cornered Gary Gensler. He's like, "You're under oath, Mr. Gensler. You're under oath," and he hit him about being Hillary's bagman and paying for the dossier, the fake BS dossier, as well as the garbage Alpha Bank hoax. And like, "You're under oath." He's like, man, right there, right along. He's just like, I was like, that alone just crushed it, man.
He was solid. So I gotta reach out, make sure we're still on, because we had that penciled in actually for the 30th. So hopefully we're all still on for that.
See if we're still on for that, because I'd love to bring him in here and let's have a great conversation about crypto and what's going on. And I'm going to tell him, man, I think you're the VP.
That'd be next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday? Beautiful. Let's see if we can lock that down. But that's all I have, Jeff. Anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Confirm. But I just appreciate the few and the furious that were here with us today. You guys are awesome.
The few and the furious? 32 people, Jeff. What's going on? Oh my God.
I've never seen this. It's
we got the alert tonight. I'm like, what did we do wrong? I mean, I don't get it.
We got the alert. The alerts went out, but maybe the alerts didn't go out to everybody. Sometimes I normally don't get the alert, but the rock solid support team here with us tonight. It was good to be back. We'll expect to see lots of you here on Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys are obviously amazing. Love all the questions and the commentary in the chat. Join it if you're on the rewatch. Post some comments in the rewatch also, and we'll check you guys out on the next one. Go check out the links below. There's ways to support the channel. You can click all those links in the description. Coffee, shirts, all sorts of other cool things. And until next time, Chip.
On the next one, Chip. I can finally say it, Jeff. Chip and Jeff.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.